check out these clips from the pre-patch podcast.
So, question about this though, and this actually leads us right into our next topic, which is you mentioned Ubisoft, but this game is launching on February 28th. Well, Ubisoft just decided to move Assassin's Creed to February 14th.
2025. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. 2025.
I know. I'm just saying now.
February 14th, 2026.
Who knows? It might be next time.
Okay.
They wanted to release this on Valentine's Day. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's the reason. So I bring this
Please
up.
love us.
I bring this up in between because, obviously we're talking a little over 15 days difference, right? Do you think that either A, Monster Hunter knew, or B, that Assassin's Creed just chose poorly? Like, I know there's a lot of we're talking about Assassin's Creed Ubisoft.
I think Ubisoft chose poorly because even if you release before Monster Hunter, it's not like, I can tell you
there's no competition.
People have not there's a big difference. And the only reason I say that is I can see people liking Assassin's Creed, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can like what you want, but
no, you can't.
Monster Hunter,
stop.
Monster Hunter is
stop defending Ubisoft, Tony.
So Monster Hunter, I need my keys, but Monster Hunter is a title that from Worlds everybody's been waiting for. And Rise was something that they put in.
Rise didn't do it, man,
and it didn't do it. And this is another World, Monster Hunter Worlds. There's no competition.
No, I know.
I feel like
so to kind of build off of that as well. Like, tinfoil hat theory is currently that because of all this situation, and I wish you would have actually started us with the other two options that we have for Ubisoft right now. But
I mean, motherfucker, I can just click a button. Which one you want me to go to?
I mean, we're going to talk about it either way, so it doesn't really matter. The current state that Ubisoft is in is not great. We've talked about it over the past couple of weeks, right? Like the past couple episodes, we've talked about how Ubisoft, they're tanking, their stocks are tanking. The fucking their owners of the company. So some of the owners of the company are asking for, a complete rehaul of the company and a firing of the leadership and everything like that. Tinfoil hat is that Ubisoft is looking at Ubisoft is looking at Assassin's Creed Shadows, and they're kind of seeing the writing on the wall that it's not going to do well, right? So the best option for them is to move the release date to a date that people are not going to be as open to buying the game and playing the game. That way they can kind of compress the amount of bad press for that day and maybe move it in. Exactly. Yeah. So it's one of those situations where like tinfoil hat is that they're kind of like trying to make other releases their kind of smokescreen almost. I don't know how much truth there is to that. It sounds like something Ubisoft would do, honestly.
How well that'll work for them. I don't know.
I could see that, but I think it's more due to the legal issues that they're having with the plot point of Assassin's Creed Shadow more so than anything. And probably the game's just not in a good state. And Ubisoft hasn't been doing good well though.
Yeah, you've got Ubisoft's, staff forces on strike because they're doing in-person, talking about doing in-person work orders. You've got that they just pulled out of the fucking Tokyo Game Show. Like,
that's directly due to the lawsuit.
Well, yes,
this is crazy, dude. Like everybody's talking about. They're like, why would they do that? This is their big bro. They literally just got in a fucking like you think they're gonna go to Japan and be like, hey Japan, we know we just pissed you guys off for the past 5 months. Come and check out our game.
No, they read the room. Reception on that.
Read the room.
Like, come on, man.
But what is wild is this is almost like watching a literal car accident happening, and then just it just won't stop, man. It is like just watching this thing burn to the ground, which and again, it's sad and it sucks in the sense that, like,
I don't think
what
it's sad
Ubisoft
Yeah, I don't think it's
was.
sad.
Ubisoft deserves it.
What I'm saying is sad in the sense of like look at old yesteryear Ubisoft, right? When we got the original Assassin's Creeds, when we got
it's sad that we don't.
Yeah.
It's sad that we don't have the original Ubisoft
before they
anymore. It's sad.
bastardized
It's
it with Assassin's
sad.
Creed and made it a
Yeah,
year.
It's sad that we don't have the original Activision. It's sad that we don't have the original Blizzard.
So far
it's
from
really
all
sad.
No,
They're
I mean
so
I
far
get
from
it.
all that. I mean, everything has changed so drastically, and it's even worse now.
But we've said this before when it came to companies. Companies that started out when we were younger, it seems like they've forgotten like what the video games is all about. It's more about the bottom dollar now.
So agreed.
And that goes from IGN to Ubisoft to Activision. They all doing it now. It's
it's also a factor of like the original people running those companies when we were kids, when they were making games to make games, right? They're no longer in ownership or running those companies. Take a Blizzard, for instance, right? Original ownership of Blizzard hasn't run Blizzard for a decade.
Well,
like for a long fucking time.
Okay, question for you. If Star Wars Outlaw never came out, right? And that doesn't happen. Let's turn, not much, but let's turn the arc on Assassin's Creed Shadows to make it where it's not lawsuit worthy, right? Do we think that Ubisoft is in the same exact boat that they're in now? With those two things kind of changed,
because their biggest issue is the fucking lawsuit right now from Japan. That's been their biggest issue right now, on top of the whole situation with like Star Wars isn't really a factor in and of itself, other than the fact that it just didn't sell well. Right?
It tanked their fucking stock, dude. Like,
yeah, it didn't sell well. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Star Wars Outlaws. Let me see, cost.
I mean,
I definitely don't think it would be as bad of a state. I mean, these are the two biggest like things that are really drowning Ubisoft right now. They're not doing good on really many fronts, if any, at the moment. But you take those back, and I guess they're at least floating.
They're where they were.
What happens to your beloved Siege, my man?
Well, listen, Siege is the only thing keeping Ubisoft alive right now.
Yeah,
we've talked about that already.
Siege is so up and down. It's not doing amazing, but it's still, again, keeping them afloat.
How's X Defiant doing these days?
They just released season 3, so we'll see if that brings any player base back. Or season 2,
to 130.
The fact that we haven't heard anything does not bode well.
No, we did hear something.
Developer came out and said, "Hey, we're not in a bad spot. Like, we're just,
That's what he said.
Oh yeah.
Trust
me,
good,
we're not in a bad spot. I'm trustworthy. That's my forward my source."
Yeah.
Until you figure out how much Outlaws cost.
They said between 70 and 100 and give me a second. 70, 130 million.
That's a big number. How the fuck do you lose? How the fuck do you gap $75 million? Like, I don't know, man. I need to buy a Bentley. I don't know, man. It's just weird because, again, like the pacing at which and the just how quick Ubisoft just turned, man. We're like, okay, we had X Defiant, not the greatest launch, but it's not fucking terrible. Obviously, Skull and Bones, not great. Like, big disappointment there. But then, like,
what do you mean? 2 million players. What do you mean?
Real people talk. But Prince of Persia, Last Crown, up really great. And then now it's just like, I don't know, man. It's almost like they're in a nosedive. That I guess my next question here is, do we think that Ubisoft is going to be either splintered off? I mean, is it going to be picked up and bought? Are we seeing the next coming of the next merger happening here?
I hope not.
We've been saying it for a while. I don't even know who.
I'd rather see them sell off IPs and just fizzle out than I would.
Yeah, what
get
Bill
bought
says.
out
I'd rather
entirely.
them do that than somebody buy them out and they take up the same reins of bullshit. Just trying to keep. No, I hope that they fizzle out and they IPs go.
We haven't seen a good merger yet. But from the Bungie with Sony,
Right.
from the Activision Blizzard with Microsoft, none of these mergers have actually done enough positive in my eyes to warrant the.
I don't even know who would be a good buyout, honestly, because it's not being Activision. Activision cannot.
Nintendo. Nintendo buys
cannot. Nintendo, holy no.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it'd be honestly like either Tencent or Embracer, if anyone.
No, fuck.
Embracer's not buying anything either.
Yeah,
So
I would take CD Projekt Red to take their company.
They ain't got the budget for that.
They can't do that.
Like it,
no.
Yeah.
Well, I will say right now, if this is the chance. Oh yeah. Well, in chat, people are saying EA. So EA, could you see EA and Ubisoft fucking merging? What the hell?
That'd be so much better. Yeah.
Oh man.
that would be catastrophic.
But I would say if there is a merger on the horizon, we are not able to give or giving you any kind of financial advice. The Pre-Patch Podcast releases itself from any kind of financial responsibility or lawsuits that you couldn't incur by making financial decisions. But I would say maybe buy some stock. It's down fucking cheap right now. You got the cash, maybe buy some stock.
Buy cheap, sell cheap, baby. Let's go.
If they, that's not how that works. Don't do that. don't buy cheap, sell cheap.
That's cheap is great, streets, man. That's Enigma on the streets.
That's what it is right now, man.
That's working that corner right there.
Christ. All right.
Honestly, I think we should just buy them. Why not, guys? They're cheap right now.
Podcast. We just pick them up. The five of us.
Podcast going to acquire Ubisoft.
I bet we could fucking do it better. We can run it better. That's for damn sure.
Probably.
All right.
Thanks for checking out these patch notes. These are small segments from the Pre-Patch Podcast, live every Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube and on Twitch. You can also find all of our past broadcasts over on anchor.fm/prepatch podcast or on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or any other podcasting platform that you should so choose.